Good morning, wonderful people. Good to have you guys here. Welcome to the program. As usual, please help us to share and like and subscribe and all those nice things. And it's not so that we can get money, no, not really. But it's just for our people to get the liberation that they deserve. It's just for our people to live with dignity. It's just for our people to know their rights and how they can get the self-determination that they're looking for. So subscribing and liking and sharing. We saw a lot of people that watched the show last week, but a lot of people did not share. So as you're watching, please share, share, share. Because as you're sharing, people that are your friends are also getting the information. So you can see what Nina's has been proposing is happening. We want them that, either they abort this election or they will see when before, during, and after the election. So the before one we're experiencing, during we will see, and after, God knows what that will look like. But we know there's a solution to all our problems, a solution called Nina's propositions. And we're not bringing it because we want it to favor us, because a lot of people are so passionate, obedient, obedient. Oh my God, Tinubu articulated. Oh, God, oh, God, go, go. The same group of people were the one that told us that God told them that Buhari is a good man, that Buhari will make Naira $1 to $1. I have them in my family. Oh. I'm speaking from experience. The same group of people that will articulate us as Obi and Peter delivered and sealed and destroyed what the indigenous people were doing for their freedom. The same Obi, they went and sealed and documented us and destroyed the one thing we had going, that we were serious about our freedom. And now he has emerged as a
Again.
political predator, because that's what he is. There's no difference between him and pedophiles. There's no difference. So the same people, I know how people are emotional. They want, oh yeah, let him go, let him go. We have passed that stage. We are not at the stage. We have passed our stage. Our children are dying. In the future, every day we are seeing dead bodies all over, and these people are children. For those of you in diaspora, these are people your children's age that are now either medical doctor in medical school or they are professionals. You're watching them die and you're sitting here saying, Obi, go, 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 go. You don't even know what the background information is. You have not even looked at the backdrops of the issues. You think Nondo Budan, you guys don't even know what is coming to us. It's heartbreaking to watch. Sometimes I wish I'm not in the midst of all of this. But God cannot give us what we cannot carry. There's a reason why He chose the honest people to do this job. As our name goes, daughters of truth. We've been living truthfully. Anyone that knew us all along knows that we've been fighting for the truth. We've been walking, at least making the attempt to walk in truthfulness. And because we are working with the Lord, we are consistent in all our ways, because we know how important that is to what we are asking Him for. So let me not take off. My name is Monachin Saga. We are too passionate about our people. We are too passionate about what we're doing. We are too passionate to see our people live a desirable, meaningful life. And we are not going to apologize for it. And we are not stopping until that becomes their daily bread.
Amen.
So thank you for joining us today. As usual, help us to share. The algorithm has been placed so that our people will begin to continue to watch those that are shaking their bum bum versus watching those that are looking for a way out for them. So help us to share, like, and subscribe on all those meaningful things that we need to do. Thank you. Go ahead, sister.
Thank you, my sister. Of course, like the Bible that I like reading, I tell people I like reading the Bible and reading it by myself and getting the interpretation, because there's a spirit in the Bible that will teach you. You do not need to go and meet fake pastor, fake prophet, fake whatever, all those people making money from you. You don't need to meet them, because the Spirit of God, they do not sell it. You can't sell the anointing of God. You can't sell the Spirit of God. It's free of charge, given to all men. It's just for you to tap and collect your own. So the Bible said that zeal without knowledge is bad. People will die. If you have zeal, obedient to obedient, but you don't have knowledge. This thing I'm shouting, where is it taking me to? How? You will just perish for nothing. So, like my sister has said, please help us to share. This show is very important. And you are a team member. We are saying that the suffering in Nigeria and Africa as a whole is man made,
Hmm.
and that it shouldn't be so, and that you and I can change it without even firing one shot. That is how it is. So please, this information is very important. Help us to like, share, follow us on all the social media. Those on YouTube, subscribe, please. And hit the like button, hit the bell button as well, so that once we drop a video, you will see it immediately. You will even go and look for, even if Facebook is doing what it's doing, you will see it. And then share to people, share to your church members, your pastors, those ones that like giving you prophecy that God did not release. Share to them. Tell them that we said, let my people go, that they might go and worship God in truth and honesty, not this abracadabra that they're doing. My name is AP Simon Okube, and I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Um, I'll hold on for now. Thank you. Let me continue to share.
Right, my sister, that's exactly what I'm doing here as well. So please continue to help us share. The good work that we're doing will speak for itself when the time gets here. So we are not rushing, we are not competing with anyone. We are here only to ensure that our people live a good life, sustainable one, not the one that will last when Onwa Obodo shows up for Christmas holidays. No, we want the one that even when Onwa is not around, that our people are surviving. So continue to help us to share, and I will continue to do the same on my own end. She said, we haven't seen it on YouTube. I can't find it.
Yes, I'm bringing it now.
Okay. Welcome, 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 welcome. We are definitely happy to have you for sure. Great. All right. So continue to share later on. Um, like we said, this is one of the things that you can do if you subscribe to the page or follow and like the page. Hopefully, they will alert you when the time comes. Um, all right. So, welcome, welcome. We are definitely happy to have you guys here today. Like we've always said, we are partners in this. You're a stakeholder, and we are, um, doing the same thing just for the enlightenment of our people and for us to work together to get to our destination. That's the most important thing. So, as our topic goes, organizing the indigenous peoples against all their oppressors, organizing the indigenous peoples against all their oppressors. And we've been talking about things, similar topic about how we can get our freedoms, and we'll continue to talk about it until it sinks in with the brain of our people. Because right now, like we've said earlier, they're deceiving themselves. They believe on building an enforcing foundation, and anyone promoting election in Nigeria is nothing but a criminal. Whether you're a Western country, whether you're from heaven or from even hell, if you are promoting election in Nigeria, you are the criminal that we are concerned about. You are the criminal that is unleashing the highest level of wickedness on people. I don't care how much you pray. I don't care how much you keep saying, oh yeah, if we don't do it, we leave a vacuum. I say, we have told you guys how not to leave a vacuum. We have told you guys how to get your sovereignty back. So it's just that you're not interested. So you feel like what we are doing, Nina's will not work. Nina's proposition will not work. But you're working on the same election that you've been doing now for how many years that have not gotten you anywhere, because every time you look around, you're taking 1 million steps backwards. So stop lying to yourself. Organizing indigenous peoples against all the oppressors is important because it allows them to advocate for their rights, amplify their voices, build solidarity, assess self-determination, and protect their environment. As we speak, according to Ninas, the Nigerian redesign gambit, unleashed very close to 2022 polls, is aimed at triggering civil unrest on a scale to justify the imposition of state of emergency and martial law. We have a video that was done by our brother Tony Nadi 4 months ago, warning us about this. What's going to happen before, during, and after election? But no, did my people listen? No. They are busy crying unto the Lord, destroying banks, destroying everything, burning themselves, doing all manner of stuff, when we have shown you guys the way we can do this in amicable fashion. As the fanatic caliphate northern Nigeria continue to brag about their fraternity of oneness in failure, poverty, and backwardness, the abundantly resourceful southern and middle belt blocks are encouraged to stop shying away from embracing freedom, self-determination, development, and progress in the 21st century of science and technology. As long as we are dancing the game of democracy as they have told us, they will continue to rule us. We'll continue to be a renter in Usman Danfodio's estate. We will go nowhere, and they will deal with us according to their style. As history students, we can see that history is repeating itself. Just like during the push for independence from British colonialism, the northern region of Nigeria, now commonly referred as the Sharia belt, is hesitating to join the more progressive South in the movement for freedom and modernization. It's no surprise that the Sharia belt is once again resisting the necessary changes to move forward from its archaic feudalistic tendencies. The older generations in this region still insist that Sharia and feudalism are the only ways to shape the future of Nigeria and Nigerians, despite the ongoing discussion around the NINAS framework and template for union reconfiguration, constitutional reconstruction, federating models and terms, and democracy. Sadly, they are either deceiving themselves or unaware that their ways are outdated, and their action will lead to nothing but regression and decline. It is time for the indigenous people to open their eyes and join in us in embracing progress, democracy, and a brighter future for all people. So today, we are discussing why Nigeria must be reconstituted immediately. We are also discussing why Nina's constitutional force majeure remains the only viable option to the sufferings of Nigerian masses. And then lastly, we'll look at the need for reorganization of the owners of ancestral lands and territories, especially now that the lawlessness has been made official. That's the rule of land now, lawlessness. The masses have no choice but to defend the rule of law, which may include defying any imposition from political predators. We want them just like we want Soludo, where he was raising his arm to defend and uphold the constitution. And we want him. We say you will not have any Anambra to rule. You will not have any Anambra to govern over. But no, They decided to proceed and put their hands to uphold the demonic entity that is destroying us. What is the outcome? Mayhem, chaos, to the point that they are begging to negotiate with criminals, to the point that Ohaneze ndị mmụọ na ndị ori na ndị ama, they are coming out now to say they want to go and talk to non-entity somewhere in another random place in order to save our people. When we have given you guys the guidelines on how to get to a place that will be, I'm just lost for words. Like, who are these people? Who are these people parading our lands as the senior advocates, as this, as our big brothers, as our elders, as our fathers? Who are these people? So is this how bad that things have decayed and nobody knew? That we can't even trust our elders to make a decision that is favorable to their children. They have sold out everything, including their conscience. They don't know how to do it yet. They won't go and ask for help. They will see someone that knows how to do it. They won't come to the person. They would rather go to the one that is proposing criminality. Obviously, because that's all that they know. And mothers, we are watching our children being killed with like animals every day on the street. Our young ones losing smart minds that could have made a change in our generation. We are watching that being taken away from us. And yet we refuse to do the right thing. But we will continue to enlighten our people. We'll continue to educate our people. Why work? A lot of work is going on ground. So don't think like my sister will say, don't think that that's what we do here on Saturdays. During the week, we are in constant communication with people on ground on how to move our people forward. And we'll continue to do so with or without your understanding or your support, because we've already understood it. So because you are sitting somewhere in a trash can doesn't mean that I have to come in a trash can and sit with you. I'm already out of the trash can. I can get some air and oxygen, so my brain is functioning. So we are not here about popularity. We are not here about what is trending. We are here about what is right and just, and what will keep our people, moving for the next generation to come. Go ahead, my sister.
Thank you so much, my sister. Yes, we're here to do the needful. We're here to do what we are expected to do. We are responsible adults. We are responsible mothers. We can't be going into the labor room to pop out children without planning and thinking of what will happen to those children. How will they live? What will be their destiny? If I can think like that for my biological children, I will also think even more for other people's children. That's what makes me responsible. That's why I'm a citizen of my nation. I say nation. You see, I took a break because somebody might not understand the nation I'm talking about. My nation is Igbo nation. I travel with certain documents, but that does not mean I'm a citizen of that place. That you have a travel document doesn't mean, because there are things that will happen to you for you to know that that nation is your nation. You'll be protected, you'll be provided for, you'll be taken care of. Citizenship comes with responsibility and benefits. So if you don't have it, it means it's not there, it doesn't exist there. So that's what we're telling our people. Let's stop mixing up information, let's stop mixing up facts. You can see what is happening and nobody's explaining it to you. So we'll play this video. Some of the things, those that can watch, should go and watch all the things that Nina's has been saying that are coming out to confirm it. We told you on this platform and in Nina's videos that this Fulani nation has cabals. Some are in the forest, some are inside, some are elite. And in these days, you're saying you can see them manifesting. One will give one instruction, the other one will give, because it's different cabals. And this other lady, there's this Fulani a politician that they come from APC to PDP. She came to confirm it. He said there are different cabals. This is from inside. So please sit back and watch. Thank you, my sister.
Thank you.
We raise this alarm because from what we see very clearly, Nigeria could crash before the election. Nigeria could crash during that election. Nigeria could crash right after the election. And so it will all be tied to the election and the fact that we decided to proceed to election instead of stopping to solve the problem. I repeat, Nigeria has broken down, and Nigeria will break up violently, except the journey to 2023 election is aborted, except the flight, the electoral flight to 2023 is aborted forthwith. Because we can see already that internal contradictions have jumped out from all the sides.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of realizing that this danger is coming upon all, the political merchants from across the length and breadth of Nigeria are carrying on as if all is well.
Yep.
The petroleum products that are not available has grounded the economy. Everybody is stranded everywhere. The airlines are struggling, the individuals are struggling, even the generator, the electricity was not there, and so the generator that could put them to, at least get some sleep at night. Everybody is on the street looking for how to get to the next day. The value of the naira has collapsed on account of the gambles of the government and its central bank. You are not sure of the price of anything anymore. Whatever you are told is what it is. The lecturers are not yet back to work after 8 months of strike. Somebody sits in Abuja and pays half-month salary saying, well, it's no work, no pay, as if the issues being raised are frivolous. Now the teachers are not yet back to work. The pupils are just hanging around, and the politicians are happy to hire them to come to run their campaigns. If we do not stop, it will be that we have chosen to perish. Let that voyage be halted as of immediate, because those internal contradictions that have not turned up, throwing up all kinds of flashpoints, the whole place is like rigged with fuel. These flashpoints are going to ignite the fuel, and then we are back into the fire, the type we saw between 64 and 66. It was only on account of refusing to address the source of the problem, the union dispute. The union that is supposed to be a federation has collapsed. The forceful preservation of the union by the Fulani who hijacked the carcass of the Federation of Nigeria that died in 1966 is not holding. Everybody is looking for exit from the failed Lugadian experiment of 1914, from the failed Federation of Nigeria. And all we could do in response is to drag everybody going to renew the instrument that is behind these failures, this constitution, by going to election. And so this address is directed more are the would-be victims, those who will die in their numbers when we get to that crash? Or tell me, is it that the day after the election, assuming that they find they wobble on to that point, is it that the day after the election, one of these candidates we see now will be sworn in to defend and uphold that 1999 constitution and all will be well? Or he will now begin to invite us to come to National Assembly that is the product of that constitution, the fraud, to begin to do what? Or is he going to give us electricity with that constitution?
Sure.
Or begin to cure corruption with that constitution that creates and protects corruption? Or is it infrastructure you begin to tell us he will do with that constitution still in place? So let us even leave the period before
Soludo has
and
given
talk of
them
the
a
period
case
after the
study.
election. What
Case
will that
study.
winner begin to do? And when we come back from there, we get to the period before. How do we get to election on the trajectory we see now? How do we manage the crisis of the kind of election that INEC is planning, in which PVCs have been distributed in the most lopsided manner? All of those who are doing PVC revolution and obedient movement here and there, we've seen their numbers, we've seen them on the streets. But where is the PVC? Who is in control of the materials that will determine the outcome? The same people you want to use the PVC that Fulani printed among themselves between the nephew of your president, who is holding sway in the place. The BVA, only them know the type they will give you. They have the full picture of who is where. They know who they gave the PVC. They know where the BVAs will be deployed. They know the polling units they created and where they are. They are printing the ballot by themselves. Only what they give you will you use. The chief returning officer is one of them. They have a candidate in the fight. And so, if knowing all of this, we refuse to make the appropriate decision of stopping the journey so that we can begin, we can at least avoid the inferno, then it is our choice to get to that crash, which could happen before, during, or after. And even if we get to that point of after, then what? I ask Atiku, then what? Tinubu, under this 1999 constitution, then what? The day after the election, then what? Peter Obi, under this constitution, then what? He says he has a bill to go to do power devolution. We already made a broadcast talking about devolution of power as an illiterate discussion. Devolution presupposes that our sovereignty is now in the hand of that illicit federal government. That's what it means. It means we are now accepting that the federal government owns our sovereignty and will therefore give what it deems fit at its own time to the units they created, the states. How did we come about the states as federating units? I don't know what Abia is. I'm sure you do not know what Rivers is. I'm sure you do not know what... which of you was on the table the day those states were being carved out?
Oh, wow.
Yes, a few political actors may have gone, wanting to create a fiefdom for themselves. And so they say they carried out the state movement and it was created for them in a federation that was supposed to have gone back to the regional autonomy that was the basis of being one political union. People who have education, people who have exposure are doing the exact opposite of what will cure the problem. By fracturing these 4 regions into 36 states, there are still movement to create more states so that there could be governor and more senator and sharing of money But who is taking responsibility for the life of the millions of people who are now caught in the global capital for poverty? Over 120 million people. Who is taking responsibility for their welfare? Who is taking responsibility for their security? Because the constitution that create the conditions we're grappling with is being sustained by the political merchants from all those
areas, blocks,
caricatures they call states. And if the people who are whose lives are being ruined are not listening, then we'll come to the conclusion that they truly deserve to perish.
That's it.
If this election is not called off and transition initiated for the sole purpose of addressing the union agreement that has gone bad, the union dispute that has been declared since 2020, if we're not doing that, and we proceed in the hope that one fellow or the other will become president and all will be well from there, then that stupidity, that foolishness ought to be punished by the maximum punishment available, including death.
That's where
because those who are making that choice now, for whatever be their reason, if it's ignorance, the Bible already condemned them to perish. If it is dishonesty, the worse. What is the difficulty in dressing back for a moment to say, will this solve this problem? Because if it is not solved, the guaranteed outcome is that the place will go up in smoke, and the human beings who are trapped here are going to be the casualties of it. Of course.
All right, we're going to have this video posted. It's actually already on Nina's channel. If you have not subscribed to that channel, this is a good time to do so, so that you can begin to understand. For those of you, because I know a lot of our people don't want to hear, like it's too much for their brain. They don't want to hear it. They are believing that God will do it for them. Somebody else will do it for them. Just like in America, it's already built. All you have to do is to get a visa and just show up and start living your life. So they don't have the capacity to listen to such information. They rather listen to other things. So Nina's Voice has a channel, a YouTube channel, where you can go and listen to Brother Tony, who is the expert in all of this, break it down for you. Like he keeps saying, what is it? Think about it. Here we are, we have the political merchants, you have us. And we're saying that we want to create a system that is sustainable and long-lasting for our people. And the other people is saying, no, come and vote for me. I'll give you freedom. And they have never given you freedom. Who exactly should you be giving a chance? Should it be those that just came on the scene 23 years ago, working on strategies to get us to the point where we are now? Or the same people that have been living off your misery? I mean, I don't even understand it. This is a no-brainer. Why is it difficult for our people to understand? Those of you that call yourself Christian, you think, oh, let me go and help Obi to get there. This is not people's club. This is not people's club. We are talking about lives of millions and millions of people. We are talking about children that you guys are killing every day. Your children are safe. You have them hiding overseas, and other people's children are dying, and you're okay with moving forward with the election because you surrounded yourself with coverage. Yeah, nothing affects you. The inflation doesn't affect you. The recession doesn't affect you. You have a plane ticket to fly off any moment at a time. Who is speaking for the widows? Who is speaking for the children, the orphans? Who is speaking for our elderly that are already weak and not able to do for themselves? Have you asked yourself what you're doing? How is it going to affect those group of people? Have you really been honest with yourself, to look deep into yourself and say, these things that I'm promoting, do I even know these people that claim that he only has one watch? Even me, as poor as I am, when I'm up to 7 watches, because watch is what people usually give you for presents. So when somebody come and lie you at the level where he is, that we know you must have 10 Rolex watches, telling you that he has one, he can't even tell the truth about watch. He can't. And you're willing to risk the life of my people to believe this person that you don't know how he made his so-called millions and billions? It's heartbreaking. Brother Tony summed it up by saying the only outcome for Ndintike is for you guys to perish. You see what happened to our brothers and sisters in Syria and Turkey. We are praying for them. That's what is going to happen to you guys. If you continue to mess with God, this earthquake, they were warned. Nobody listened. We are warning you guys. When this brimstone will rain on you, not even the universe will be at your side. Just warning. Those who have ears, Megan, let them hear. It's because they want TK. Mr. and Mrs. TK. When the time comes, your eardrum will burst. There is no other way. Go ahead, my sister.
Thank you, my sister. We will continue to enlighten them. We will continue to educate them. While my sister pulls up our PowerPoint, because we want you to follow as we discuss. This is like lecture. We'll give you bit by bit, line by line. You go and make your own research and then understand where we're going. Like our topic said, my sister told us, organizing the indigenous peoples against we said all their oppressors, all of them. We are telling our people that you can do this. You can be organized and then take out the yoke of these oppressors. Ordinary money change should not have deadline. Ordinary money change, if you're changing money genuinely in places where systems work, you just keep bringing it, and bank will be taking it, just that they will absorb it from the society over time. As you're bringing, they're taking. As you're bringing, they're taking, and then bringing out new ones. You wouldn't even know when they change it. It will just go smoothly, easy, and then move on. But everything in Nigeria and in Africa must be used to torment the people, stress the people, make them suffer, because what? They are all slaves. And we have said there's a framework today to free all Africans from this slavery. I was discussing with a brother from Congo 2 days ago. Everything we discussed was the same thing happening to my people. Like my sister has mentioned, if you look around, everywhere is the same problem. We were saying today, this can be changed. It shouldn't continue. We want to remind you of their declaration. This is their their battle scripts. It's already out there. Google it, you find it. Because one good thing about these people is that they tell you what they will do to you before they do it to you. The only problem with our people is, you're not listening. You're not paying attention. When they talk, you say, no, they just talked. This is the statement of Uthman Dan Fodio, the great-grandfather of the caliphate, of the Fulani nation. They are building a nation for themselves. He said Nigeria, that's in respect Nigeria. Because when we tell our people that we did not create this entity called Nigeria, we don't own it. It is not ours. So he said this Nigeria, Nigeria is estate of Uthman Dan Fodio, and that's the way they say it. He said the new nation called Nigeria should be an estate of our great-grandfather, Uthman Dan Fodio. We must ruthlessly prevent a change of power. We use the minorities of the North as willing tools and the South as a conquered territory, and never allow them to rule over us, and never allow them to have control over their future. This is a Mandela saying.
And we are watching this, so it's happening in our lifetime, over and over again. And somebody announced and said, I'm coming to kill you. You're there saying, are you coming to kill me? Are you saying? Yeah.
People said that it's only a tree that will hear, I'm coming to cut you down, and stand there. These people made their declaration and are following it bit by bit. You can see them, and that's why, look at what this thing that he said. Is it different from all the videos you're seeing from their elders and they still live in that ancient time that this is what will happen, this is their estate, and they will take it. The same thing with the brother I was discussing. He said that there in his land in Congo, saying the same thing, behaving the same way, killing people, grabbing their lands is the same thing all over Sudan, everywhere. Go check what is going on. It is the same people. And Ninas is saying, if it's the same people, why can't the rest of us organize ourselves and put these people where they should belong? It's easy. You don't even need to fight. You don't even need to go to war. You don't need to do nothing because you are in majority. They are in minority, just that are very troublesome. And honestly, apart from being troublesome, they don't have human mind. So we'll continue. Today we'll look at the tools of oppression because you need to know what your enemy is using against you. Why is it successful? Over years, they've been successful in tormenting and oppressing our people. Why? We will break it down for you. They have three tools they use: ignorance, fear, and military power. And it comes in that line. First of all, you are ignorant of your identity. You're ignorant of your rights as indigenous people. You don't even know who you are. Igbo person will say, oh, I don't really care. I can live anywhere. I can be anywhere. But that's not how you were created to function. You were created to function from your place. Like Americans will stay in America and operate from America. Like the Europeans will stay in their nations and countries and operate from there. Even if they want to go on vacation, they go vacation and come back. You are not supposed to be running about, not knowing who you are. You're not a vagabond. You are created to be indigenous somewhere. Stay here. This is my home. You can decide by yourself and travel and stay somewhere else. That is your decision. Not that you are forced out of that place to go and roam because you are looking for money or looking for food or whatever. That's not what it is. So you're ignorant. That's why that is happening to you. The next thing is fear. When you now become aware of your situation, you are afraid. They create this system of fear. They terrorize you. They intimidate you. So you are afraid to even ask for what is rightfully yours because they have created a system of terror and intimidation. This is what they use. Then when they feel that the fear and the intimidation and the ignorance system they created is not working, they bring in military power. Now, because they are out to conquer people and grab their land, they already build their military power. You that you are not planning to conquer anyone, you won't even be building military power. You just be by yourself having fun. But because they have a target, they have an agenda, they build military power to use it and conquer other people. So when you hear them talking about policing, oh, we want to, like some of you, your candidate, a political candidate, when they ask them about insecurity, they say, yes, we will police, we will build military, we will do this. Why not find out what is causing the insecurity and bring out policies? That is democracy.
My dear, I know what is causing it. They are the one causing it.
Exactly.
That's why they have no answer for you.
Exactly.
None of them.
So that means that the ones, because if they are not the ones causing it, there will be policies that will take care of all these things. Anybody saying this is my problem, you make up policies, that's democracy that will take up their issue. Are they agitating? What is the issue? Let's resolve it. You put policies in place. Not policing the people, not gagging the people, not using military to shoot them because they don't have money. They took their money to the bank. They want to get it. You're not giving it to them. They will definitely agitate. What do? You bring military and start shooting them. That is not democracy. That is oppression. And these are the tools they use. And there are people that they use. We call them the oppressors of the indigenous peoples. Because like we said, the indigenous peoples are in their land. These oppressors come in to oppress them. The politicians, they are the oppressors. The capitalists, the religious elites, social influencers, career freedom fighters, traditional rulers. There might be many, but we're just mentioning this for you. I will break it down for you. The politicians are they are the ones oppressing you. when I was discussing with my brother from Congo, he said, "Oh, we don't have our leaders. Our leaders are part of the problem." They are not your leaders. They were imposed on you. Just like
Yeah,
they imposed the constitution, they imposed the operators of the fraudulent constitution. It
which
will
we
be only
identified as
those.
internal colonizers.
Exactly. So they are the internal colonizers. These oppressors are the internal colonizers. You have external colonizers and internal colonizers. When you had what you call independence, it wasn't independence, it was fake. What happened was the external colonizers transferred to the internal colonizers, and then they are like puppets. You remember those dance of the, so they'll put the rope. When they put their hand, they act. When they put their nose, they act. So they move in the rhythm of the external colonizers.
Yeah,
That is why
they're just mere servants.
they are
And
mere
if you, yeah,
servants.
if you disobey, you will disappear.
Exactly. So these politicians are political predators, like Obasanjo told you in Port Harcourt, because he knows he's part of them. He knows what they're doing. We told you that some of them are confessing now. Why are they confessing? Because Ninas is coming with light. You know, the only thing you need against darkness is to bring light. You don't shoot gun at darkness. You don't pour water on darkness. Just bring light. Once you bring light, the Bible says that the darkness cannot comprehend it and they cannot prevail against it. What will darkness do? Disperse, disappear. All you need to do is bring light. Ninas is coming with light, and we are telling you, increase the light of Ninas so that darkness will disappear from your land.
Amen. Say
Some of
that
you are
again.
not listening. You want to shoot darkness. You don't shoot darkness. Light is what you bring. Introduce light to that darkness. Darkness will fear and run. Help us to share this video. By sharing, you are increasing the light of Ninas. Share, like, subscribe. Let your people hear the truth. Because the only weapon against lie is truth. Speak truth and lie will die. My people said, Ezokubondo. Truth gives life. When you explain things and the truth comes out, the lie will not be there anymore. So educating our people is the number one thing and is very important. So we're talking about the oppressors, the predators, political predators. That's who they are. Bitobio, Tinubu, Atiku, all of them. They are not interested in solving the problem for you. They just want to be in position and amass wealth. And P2B's own is even worse, that he's not giving anybody shishi. The other stole, they can share with you. P2B is not sharing with you. And he will not solve the problem because he lacks the capacity to do that. He's not able to do it. So another predator, we said the capitalist, that the monopolist, financial elites, and suppressors. They want to come and show you the wealth they stole after stealing wealth. The wealth that they're supposed to use, the politicians are supposed to use to build hospitals, infrastructure, build roads. They share to their friends. That's why Dangote is one selling salt to you. Only Dangote. Dangote salt, excuse me. Dangote cement. Dangote flour. Even Dangote water. They will still have Dangote air. You want to bring air, you got to meet Dangote, he will give you. They killed every other indigenous business and create themselves. Who created Dangote? Who is he? The richest man in Africa. How
Hmm.
did he become the richest man in Africa?
Nobody is
What were
asking.
others doing? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I said nobody is asking that question.
Exactly. What were others doing? Where was eBay to cement? Who closed it down? How can you close down all the refineries in our land and build one that belongs to an individual?
Hmm.
How can you take out all the public assets and give to individuals? It's not that the individuals grew their wealth. No, we are saying the things that belong to the public, you stole from them and gave to individuals. Why are they doing that? So they can suppress you, so they can oppress you. These are oppressors. They're suppressors of the indigenous peoples. Religious elites that partners with them. Your so-called pastors and fake spiritualists. What are they doing? Brainwashing you. so that you will not understand what the politicians are doing, because the politicians are their friends. That's why when Ninas will tell the pastors, mega churches that have our people in thousands, that if they can just organize our people, they will be free completely.
Nope.
Ninas will meet them, discuss with all of them, this is what we need to do to free the people. Of course, they don't want to free the people. If they free the people, their empire will collapse. So they don't want to free you. So they keep telling you lies, brainwashing you. Hey, Buhari is the one. Mbaka say, oh, Buhari is the one. Hey, Hope is the one. They are doing you abracadabra because these politicians settle them. They pay tithes to them, give them offering. That's why they buy their private jets. How come they are enlarging and you are decreasing? You think it's God that is doing that to you? No, it's not God. It is man-made. They are religious elites, fake pastors. When they do wedding, they bring their children's wedding in the land where people are hungry and looking for what to eat. So that people will rebel against God and think that God hates them. You see, they're not working for God, they're not representing God. These are evildoers. They are not church. They are not working for Christ. I can give you that for free. The social influencers, yes, we call them Yeye British, because that's the name that fits them. We heard that name, we say, yeah, that's true. Because you must be in the land where we live. The social influencers, when there's a problem, they are the ones that will ring it and be singing it out like, no, 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 government, change this thing. But what do these British do? They sing for the pastors, they sing for the politicians, they sing for the capitalists. That's what they do with their talent. They don't even have talent. Because if your talent cannot make you to be creative, to use it to solve problems for the community and the people, then it's not a talent. So whatever it is that they have is for their own personal. You see, today they will sing for Buhari. Tomorrow they will sing for P2B. From there, they'll jump and sing for Atiku. It's highest bidder, whoever pays them. They don't have a goal. They don't have principle. They don't have, say this, like people like Fela. That's why they were after him. Because he was not singing to entertain them. He was speaking truth to power. He was speaking for the masses. But these other British, all they do is steal money from the politicians, marry people's husband, drop this one, mix up, marry pastors, sleep with pastors, all of them. Everything is all salad, mixed up. They are the oppressors of the indigenous peoples. Then we have this group called themselves Career Freedom Fighters. They call themselves freedom fighters. Why we call them career? Because they are making money from what they say they're doing, from the pain of the people. So they will not want freedom for the people. Because if freedom comes, that money will stop coming in. So you see, the money is coming in from the people that we want to have this freedom fighting as career. Because if they were really fighting for the people, they should be discussing with Ninas right now and say, oh, what do you want us to do? What role do we play? But they don't want freedom for the people. They want to collect wealth from the people. They lie, carry propaganda, talk nonsense, make threats that they can't carry out. Just talk stupidly. Because that is their career. They have found a career. See what is happening in Southeast, in Igbo land. You see them in Cameroon. You see them everywhere, career freedom fighters. The more noise they make, the more the politicians will come and pay them and say, okay, take this million and keep quiet. Look the other side. When they're going left, they go right. They'll tell you, oh, what's that one that Berima was telling us? No election, no election, no free, no no referendum, no election, no election, or whatever. Do you understand? By the time Atiku articulates and they gave him money, sorted him out, he says, signed, sealed, and delivered. Delivered what? What was signed? What was delivered? Do my people now have their freedom? Is the self-determination there? So anytime there's an election, they will make loud noise. They have no strategy. They have no plan. Because if they did, they will be sitting on the table with Ninas to understand what the framework is, to understand what is the strategy, because they have none. Remember, I will tell you that from inside, we know that they have no strategy. And noise is not strategy.
Nope.
Ignorance is not strategy. You just make noise so that they will kill people. That is not a strategy. So, the last group is the traditional rulers, the traditional elites, those that ought to be the custodian of the culture of the people. They are the ones that are being paid by caliphate. So you see, they are not working for the people. So we want to let our people know that the masses are on their own. What we say, Oyo, for the masses. They have nobody speaking for them except NINAS, Nigerian Alliance, Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination. They are the ones speaking for the people. They're the only ones speaking for the people. Why? Because it's not really like an organization. It is movement of all the people that want self-determination. The framework is on the table. If you understand it, we work together. If we work together, we will free ourselves. So it is a movement of the people, the true movement of the people, because there's no movement without information. If you are moving and you don't have information, you are just making noise, shoot you and then take advantage of you. But if you have information, you understand your rights and know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. It's very important. You cannot remove that from what you're doing. So these oppressors that we have mentioned earlier on, they know the problem. They understand the solution that Ninas is putting on the table. But you know what? They refuse to implement it. Why? Because they do not benefit from it. It will not benefit from them. It will not benefit them. The bad structure, the status quo, will benefit them, so they don't want to take it out. This new one, if we say let's do things properly, corruption will be controlled. People will benefit. They will no more become the alpha and omega in the lives of people. So they don't want it. And they will ask you, what did they stand to gain? The church, when you discuss with the church, they'll say, what is in there for us? If you discuss with the politicians, they say, what is in there for us? All of them, the career freedom fighters, what is in there for us? They want immediate gain. So if they're not getting the immediate gain, they don't want it. So all these criminal politicians, all like the retired military people, the class 66, all of them are scheming to be in charge of Nigeria, what Nigeria needs. They don't want the people to be in charge of it, because they feel that if the people are in charge of it, it will skim them out. The mega churches know that their business empire will collapse if the people are in charge of their destiny. The career freedom fighters, the reason they are duping the people, if you now fix it, there's no more money for them now, because they're benefiting from the pain and sorrow of the people. The traditional rulers will not have caliphate to sell the lands and the resources of the people. They are the ones selling lands and resources. They meet them. Those enemies, go and meet them. Go and ask them, your traditional rulers. That's why they're so rich. What are they selling? What is their business that they're so rich? Yes, they're selling the resources of the indigenous peoples. They're selling their lands in under one name or the other. So these politicians, when they come, they meet them. They give them all that money. It's you that are selling. The indigenous peoples are being sold. But we are saying today that you can organize yourselves, all the indigenous peoples, anywhere in Africa. If you are an indigenous person or you're indigenous people, indigenous ethnic nationality, because we have told you on this platform, in Europe, tribes are nations. Why is it that they came to Africa? Nations and kingdoms were reduced to tribes. In Europe, one nation can be 7 million. In Africa, 20 million, they will call you a tribe. 40 million, they will say Yoruba tribe. Who is fooling who? The only reason that is going on is because you're ignorant. If you're not ignorant, nobody will do it. Thank God for what you call 2007 UN DRIP. Google it and find it. This is the standard UN has come out with. It's a declaration on the rights of the indigenous peoples. He said, organize yourself according to this standard. It's about 42, 43 articles. You go through it, you see it. In that article, the first thing they said, that if you need a nation, if you need to be free, the exact map and territory with distinct people or peoples must be clear. You don't go and say, I think we are here, I think we are there. No, you must get the exact map, because it's like address where you live. If you want it something delivered there, you're not going to say, go and deliver it to the area in Lexington. You will say, so address. That is why I want my parcel delivered. In the same way, if you need freedom, if you need self-determination, there must be distinct map. And then the next thing, there will be consensus and internal cohesion among the components of the nationalities seeking self-determination. Self-determination is not what you do on behalf of somebody. Some of my people will say, oh, Yoruba people, don't trust them. It's not about trusting Yoruba people. Yoruba people are working for their own. They are in Southwest. They are working for their land. Igbo people, work for your own land. You are in Southeast. Don't go and work for Ijaw people. Don't go and work for Yoruba people. These are distinct ethnic nationalities. You can work in collaboration with them, but don't go and say you are doing Biafra that will involve Ijaw, Yoruba. It is not your right. Things have moved. We are now in 21st century. They don't do things the way they did in ancient times. Now you stand on your ancestral land with your ancestral name, operate from there. So when Nina say, trace back to your ancestral land, that's what they mean. You can only fight for the land that belongs to your ancestors. You won't fight for another person. Self-determination is not what you do for another. It's like self-actualization. You don't do self-actualization for another individual. You only do it for yourself. That's the same way self-determination is. It is for the people, distinct people. These are the standard that UN sets. He said there will be clear strategy to actualize that self-determination from A to Z. I will do A, I will do B, I will do C, in that order. It's not what you say, oh, we'll just shout and then they kill us, then we go, then they'll come. Nobody will listen to you, not you, and no diplomat will sit down with you with that trash. What we mean, clear distinction. For instance, in the case of Nigeria, first step is taking down the 1999 constitution because it was imposed on the people. What it means is that it's fraudulent and the people did not make it. So there's no union. That's what it means. So the first step and the largest work is to take down the 1999 constitution. And Ninas has a strategy on how to go about it, and they've been on it. The next thing they did was obtaining the Caliphate Alliance of 1967-70, because we found out that the death of our people, that Biafra genocide, it was the Caliphate that engineered it. So they formed an alliance against people. And you heard when Buhari spoke about that alliance, he said the dot nation. He said that they carved the Igbo people, majorly part of that Biafra, the old Biafra, that they were circled. What they mean is that they formed alliance, everybody else, and carved the Igbo people in that place to destroy them. But they didn't destroy them. They committed one of the greatest genocide, over 3.5 million people killed and 2 million children starved to death within 3 years. So, but what has happened now is that Ninas has turned that alliance against them. So we are now with all the indigenous peoples. That's why you see the map when we show you the alliance territory and the Sharia territory. So is everybody understanding now that that Caliphate alliance has been destroyed? So that's why then they say, oh, we'll lead Nigeria as we have been leading Nigeria. They don't know things have moved. We have moved. Another thing is that you need an umbrella tag name that the people, as you get that consensus, will agree on. They will adopt a name. It might not be the name of the nation or something, just an operational name to go with. This is how we are going, representing all the territories that are jointly bidding for self-determination. Because you want to do it with your neighbors. That's part of the standard the UN put in place. You must do it as you're doing. There'll be internal cohesion, and then your neighbors also, you work hand in hand with them. You are not working for them, but you're working in collaboration.
In collaboration. That's how the Lower Niger Congress
Exactly.
came up.
Exactly. So the terminal process of referendum, not war, not anarchy. That's part of the thing that is required. And then there will be orderly transition from the old and existing order to a new constitutional order. That's part of the standard UN put in place. And then there will be international imperative because there are stakeholders in your land doing business. You need to explain to UN what is your plan. So you have to put them in line in what you're doing. They have to be part of what is going on. They need to understand the process so that they can work with you on the process. These are all the standards set in place by UN, and it's there. You go and read it. We just reduced 43 articles for you in one sitting.
It's not hiding in anybody's pocket, so
No,
it's there, out there for you to
you
read.
go and read it. You see this thing. Say about 42, 43 articles. We reduced it for you in a slide. You see the work we're doing as daughters of truth, bringing information to our people. Truth. You don't need lies. You don't need propaganda. So the next thing is interventions. We'll tell you about interventions that NINAS has already done. That is the organization that we are talking about. It has already started. We are not saying it so that we'll start today. It's over 23 years. The work is going on, organizing the indigenous peoples. So over 22 years, there's the association, like bringing together all the people that have quest to rescue themselves from slavery. They have been on this legitimate action, one after the other. We will break it down for you. We're running against, time is against us, but it's important that we break down what we are saying to our people so that you understand what has happened over time. You've heard of NADECO, National Democratic Coalition. What was it? What did they push for? First, because they understood that military took over the sovereignty of the people. So they needed to move against military first. So they moved against military to bring democracy from the military, because they kept doing coup one after the other. This one will say, I, General Dogoyaro, I, if you sleep, wake up. I, General Dogoyaro, I, General Dogoyaro. Every Christmas, I was hearing that. This one will hand to this one will hand over to this one will push this one. They were just playing that gamble. Somebody made them to stop it. That's in the day. They pushed out military to return democracy. But that's not the end of where they were going, because it's a systematic work. Then from NADECO, you have what we call PRONACO, that is Pro-National Conference Organizations. What were they pushing for? To push for the restoration of the sovereignty and self-determination of the constituent components of Nigeria, because it was taken over before. They ran over the people. We told you that at independence, all these regions came together and they were autonomous. They had their own constitution, but somebody hijacked it, made it unitary. So instead of Federal Republic of Nigeria, we have unitary Nigeria. That cannot happen because we are diverse. We are diverse in our core values and the way we see things. Like America is diverse. So that's why they run the federal system, true federal system. Not unitary. You can't do that. You can't do that. There will be chaos. It's a formula for chaos. So the chaos you're seeing in Nigeria and seeing in Africa, it is not because Africans are evil. It's not because there's a witch that is eating them. It's because the structure is wrong. The foundation is wrong. And somebody did it. Cause that of kata everywhere. That's why you're saying that. It's a recipe for disaster. That's why you're getting disaster. And we're saying we can fix this. Everybody can be part of us to fix it. It's not somebody coming to be Messiah to fix it for you. No one single man will fix this problem for you. All of us, we fix it together, but you need to understand, because if you don't have knowledge, when somebody say bring water, you will bring stone. When they say bring stone, you bring sand. You need to be informed. That is what we come here every Saturday to get you informed, and you can train yourself. So PRONACO, the assignment was to push, the target was to push for restoration of the sovereignty of the people and self-determination of the constituent members of Nigeria. So also union of constitutions, because that's the meaning of federation. Federation is a union of constitutions. You can have it as complete federation, or you can have it as confederation. These things will be arranged. It does not fall from sky. People sit down, discuss, converse, and then say, this is this is it. Because we are made up of so ethnic nations, this is what will work for us, and people will vote, and that. So that's a push. Another thing they're pushing for is to have independent. Okay, so when we say that, it's either they have federation or confederation, or any group that wants to exit has the right to exit and be independent. That will be successor states and nations. It's something that the people will vote and say, this is what we want, and then we have it. They don't need to beg anybody. You don't something you say, please now validate me so that we'll go. No, because the land belongs to the people. Another thing their work will achieve is to reverse the migration of our people out of their ancestral lands and nations, because they are going on economic exile. There's hunger everywhere, excuse me. There's hunger everywhere, and people are going on exile. It's called migration. We want to reverse it. Pronoco, that's the target. Now, NEDECO was formally rested as Pronoco commenced. So you understand where which one is going. NEDECO, the work of NEDECO finished, it transformed into Pronoco because there's a target. You continue to go until you finish. So under Pronoco, we had plenaries. That means that over 164 identifiable ethnic nations sat together and had meetings. I said, this is what we do. This happened between 2005 and 2007. And then we have different agitation groups. They were part of that meeting. Freedom groups, even the armed ones, they were part of that meeting. US and EU sent observer mission. They were part of that meeting. So we had countrywide consensus, and that is what led to MNN, an alliance of pro-self-determination organizations. They came together. They continued to work together. In 2007, MNN launched a formal court engagement against the 1999 Constitution, because we told you that everything has to be legitimate, not just done anyhow. What does that mean? They said, we did not make this Constitution. You need to do it, because that's part of it. So it was done. And then from there, because they did that, they were not able to go and have solemn assemblies of all the ethnic peoples that are seeking for self-determination. What did the solemn assembly? What was the purpose? To say that we are repudiating this 1999 Constitution as a basis for union, because we don't want it, because we are not part of it. It was imposed on us. So on 27th April 2015 at Port Harcourt, the peoples of Lower Niger came together and said, we're going to work together to get self-determination for our peoples. Do you understand? That includes the Midwest people, the former Midwest that are now part of South-South, then the Southeast. All of them came together, maintaining their borders. This is not like some people will be fighting and say, oh, this map you're using, you don't understand. Your land is your land. You are indigenous to it. Nobody is encroaching there. Come and be part of the negotiation and the discussion so that you can take care of your land and your territory. Nobody will do it for you. On the 7th of September 2015 at Ibadan, the people of Yoruba descent, the Southwest, they did their own solemn assembly. And on the 18th of July 2018, the peoples of Middle Belt did their own at Makurdi. It was required. And then on December 11, 2018, we did what you call Freedom Park Joint Multi-Regional Proclamation. If you go online, you see these videos. These events took place with videos. You see peoples being there saying this is what we're doing. So it's not like what political parties are doing and buying crowds. No, the peoples came in their original, representation. So that Freedom Park, the aim was to notify global communities and international stakeholders of what was going on in our space. This is what is going on, and this is what we intend to do, and this is what we intend to achieve. Like we told you, this is one of the steps that UN said must be taken. Then on 2019, we have 7 months engagement with Washington, D.C. as one of the stakeholders in our land. Also, after that, in August 2019, UN visited and declared 1999 Constitution a pressure cooker for injustice and a threat to the global peace. I want you to understand that MNN became NINAS when the peoples of the Alliance territories stepped forward to enforce Pronoco, what Pronoco was doing. As a result, December 16th, 2020, we had what we call constitutional force majeure. What is that? What does that mean? You see, the constitutional force majeure is to say we are not going to allow this constitution anymore in our space to govern us. Because we did not make it, it was imposed on us. So, and this constitutional force majeure is not one day event, it's an ongoing repudiation and enforcement until self-determination is achieved. So it's a vehicle that has left park and is moving, and more people are entering the vehicle, and we are going. We know our destination and we'll get to our destination. And we don't need anybody's fuel or anybody appraisal or anybody validation or anybody approval, because we are the owners of the land. The owners of the land are simply taking back what belongs to them. So it's an ongoing thing. It's continuing. For people like say, oh, you didn't consider force majeure. What happened? We are still on it. So there's, you see, the consensus is increasing and widening as we are going. The NINA's framework and constitutional force majeure is designed in such a way to wind down and wind up the operation of the 1999 Constitution. So it's as if you're winding something. You have a rope, you're winding. You will continue to wind the rope until you get to the end of the rope. Snowballing is snowballing. It's snowballing, and we're going. That's what it is. So the collapse of the 1999 Constitution marked the end of that union of death that is anchored on it. You see why Caliphate is under pressure. You see why all the cabals in Fulani Nation are jumping out. This one is going to say,
you see why Buhari will say one and Erufai will say another.
Exactly. These are all different cabals in the Fulani Nation, because there's pressure coming from the indigenous peoples saying, this is where we are going and there's no going back. So they are thinking what to do. So they're kind of using 10 fingers like octopus, bringing all the tentacles. This one is pulling from here. This one is pulling here. So they're going to make a lot of mistakes. In the days ahead, you're going to see even more pressure and even more confusion in their midst, and in the midst of anybody that decides to work with them against the people. We told you that 1999 Constitution is the divide line. If you are for it, then you are against the people. If you're against it, then you are with the people. Choose you this day who you will serve. Are you going to serve the Lord, or you will serve Caliphate that has come to kill the people of God? So you will decide. If you are a church member, if you're a pastor, a bishop, a priest, archbishop, GO, Mama GO, Brother GO, and you are working with 1999 Constitution, you are the evil killing the people of God. And you know what? The Lord is against you. I don't care the type of anointing that you're carrying, demonic anointing that you're carrying. I don't care the title that you have. I don't care the prophecy you say. If you want, let it be that you went to buy all the crutches and you tell people that you're healing people of whatever you're healing them. All those are abracadabra. You collect money from people so that you go and say you're doing family work. All those corruption going on in the name of serving God. Because you people are oppressing the people. You see, your end is here. And we are calling for repentance.
Amen.
1999 Constitution is the line drawing. Are you on this side or this side? It's like the Red Sea. When the Red Sea parted, the people of God passed through the Red Sea. But that same Red Sea destroyed the people chasing the people of God. That is where we're going to. So the collapse of the 1999 Constitution is a mark that this union of death that has been killing our people is over. And then it's also designed to peacefully work out a replacement through a two-step process supervised by transitional body and UN. For people that they are saying, some people just like spreading ignorance everywhere. Somebody was saying, oh, for referendum to happen, a national body assembly, we have to pass it. What we are telling you that the union is fraudulent, constitution is fraudulent. How can anything that came from it be part of this solution? We are following the international standard protocol. That's what we're following. We are not following your ignorance. We said ignorance is not an opinion. And you should go and study up. Watch these videos. Share to people. Anybody that is teaching you nonsense, teacher, teach me nonsense. Tell them, teacher, teach me nonsense. Stop teaching me nonsense. Go and watch Authors of Truth so that your brain will open. We are done with people teaching our people what does not make sense. So the Nina's framework is put in such a way that there will be a peaceful walkout, peaceful, with highlights. No war, no anarchy. Why? Because the land belongs to us. We are on our land. If we work together, we are majority. How will minority come and kill us? We'll just capture you together like cancer and throw you inside the radiation room. You
Give
go
you
there and meet your
precise
ancestors.
chemotherapy. Yep. I end it all.
Exactly. So it's simple. It's just people to understand where Ninas is going. And like my sister said earlier on, we proceed, whether you understand or you don't understand. Because what will make you understand will jam you. My people say na okpana okokoburu nti onwu chili ya. We are there making noise. We are there telling you as okpana. There's opoko that is coming. Opoko is a predator. It's coming to kill the opana. Opana, you listening to me, you are the opana. The grasshopper. The opoko eats the grasshopper. But the opoko makes a lot of noise. So if the grasshopper should hear, the grasshopper will escape. But because of you don't want to hear, you allow people to be distracting you. People like Peter Obi, Atiku, Tinubu, all of them with their political parties, bandit, mercantile thing that they're doing, they block your ear, distracting you. As a result, you don't want to hear. We are saying that the opoko will come and consume you.
Amen.
You here today, you will be liberated. You'll be set free. So the work that Ninas is doing is the end of structural injustice and inequity. Those of you shouting, hey, well, injustice, inequity. The way out of it is to work with Ninas. And if you're working with Ninas, because we have done constitutional force majeure, it makes the 2023 presidential selection of another criminal to preside over the rape and the criminal enterprise called Nigeria, it makes it unnecessary, an unnecessary prolongation of the suffering of Nigerian masses. You are the one, yes, you listening to us today, you are the one prolonging your suffering and the suffering of your people, because the framework to free you is here. We look at what we call domino 1, domino 2. It's a no-brainer, like my sister say, my sister speak that English there. It's a no-brainer. If you do the right thing will happen. Look at domino 1. Assume that all these things are pillars. The union, the so-called Nigeria, the fraudulent, the hijacked union is standing on its own. The constitution is standing also as a pillar. And then the election is another pillar. Now there's something like a lever that showing weight where you need to put weight. When you look at that way, it's in small. If you look at it very well, you're going to see lower Niger, southwest, middle belt. These are all the peoples being tormented by that constitution and that union of death through the election that they renew the constitution, renew the union of death. If they can put pressure together in this alliance, what will happen? You see, that pressure will push down that election, and the election will push down the constitution and push down the union, because constitutional force majeure has been done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Like we keep saying, we have given you guys your Christmas present, and it's sitting at the front door. All you have to do is to open the door, pick up the present, and unwrap it. There is no need blackmailing God. There is no need crying as if God is deaf or constipated in toilets. There is no need to continue to look for other ways when the way out or the way forward has been given to us. Join Ninas. Listen to Nina. Okay, forget about join. Go and listen to Ninas. Go on their website. Go on their YouTube channel. Go and understand that, and then justify it or compare it to those that are promising you things that you know will never come to pass. Compare what we are doing to what the politicians are offering you, and you can see there is no comparison. We are here profiling solution that will allow our people again to live with dignity. We are tired of people standing in line for things that belongs to them. We are tired of our young boys being burnt and killed and massacred and destroyed and everything else while we watch and pray because, oh, it didn't touch me. A friend of ours told us how birds are flying. They will be flying if one gets shot down, they will look and say, oh, I didn't get shut down. That's too bad. You keep moving. And we're saying there is no way we will function that way. There is no way we will live and last as a people if we don't stop injustice happening to other people. There is no way we will make sure our children are safe and allow other people's children to be killed and destroyed. Why we wait? Why we wait for your madness? Why we wait for you guys to come to your senses? There are things that we can do at individual and community levels because we are not going to wait until all these things are done. We've told you guys because somebody else is wicked, even if the government is wicked, you do not have to be wicked to your neighbors. You can work together. Even in the midst of this money, what is it called? Should I say makeshift fake money is not around. I don't even know how to say it. At this point where they are claiming there is no new money and old money and all these things, we can help each other out. Our parents did it. Our forefathers did it. We know our ancestors, a lot of them survived by threat, by barter before the criminals came with their currencies. Looking at community development. Ordering work in my not selfish gains. Not let me go and promote the election. Oh, if we don't do it, if we don't push for our own, things will continue to happen the way they've been happening. And we're telling you, no, it's no longer that way. You didn't have the information. Now you have the information at your fingertip and you're still making decisions as if you don't know what to do. We have to show responsibility to the community and ethnic nations. It's okay for you to be a Yoruba. It's okay for you to be from Ijaw, from Igbo, from whatever. We want you to embrace who you are. Scottish people are embracing themselves in the midst of being the same part of a nation with England. They are not hiding it. Australians are there, killed off the people that own the land and claiming that it's theirs, promoting their ethnicity and their identities. So we can do the same. We can build companies with local shareholders and ownership, things that are owned by us, protected by us. Not if you get hired, you think you can eat your oga. A friend of ours opened a poultry company, and people were actually bringing flax to work as if they're bringing tea. And all they're doing is to things you would never imagine. So they're breaking the agua and put it in a flax when they're leaving. They caught some throwing chicken over the fence so that after work they can go in the bush and pick it up. How long are you going to do that? You're destroying the one thing that is giving you consistent income. Your brother saved money to come and give you a job. All you're doing is to sabotage that job. Okay, so if they close down the poultry, what do you get to do? Where do you get the eggs to eat? You don't even have a job now. You're also encouraging discovery and developing of our talents and skills. We are highly talented. We are highly skilled. I remember telling a friend of mine that if for some reason I don't have a job now, I can braid hair. If I clean your house here, you ask me to take half of the house when I'm leaving. That's how serious. That's how good it will be. If I cook, I can start a restaurant if what I'm doing right now is not working. So we know how to do it all. I can even sew clothes. I can braid hair. We have so many things that we can do to engage ourselves so that we are not part of the criminality going on in our land. We know what the police are doing. We want to thank our brother for doing a good job and calling out these criminals that call themselves politicians, that call themselves police officers, that call themselves whatever that they call themselves. That's why they are not speaking, and our people are being killed every day. Our villages, our places are being destroyed, and they are not. None of them is speaking. Even your so-called obedience is not saying these are the things I have in place to fix these things. Oh my God, why is this happening? Oh, Zealand enough. He can't even say that. We must begin to use our talent and skills to uplift our local communities through agricultural tools, waste management, flood management. We used to do these things before. Siseku, remember the story you told me about how they used to build some type of a hole, and then that hole will go. Can you explain that again? Because that was I didn't get to see that.
So we had our drainage system in Southeast Anibu. It's called Omi. We dig well in the ground. Each family, each compound will have at least 1 or 2 omi, that hole, that well in the ground, to bring in all the flood. After rainfall, everything will go inside. Then dry up before you know it. The land is dry and clean. But for you to understand how intelligent my ancestors were, after digging the hole, the well, there is a smaller hole on the side that is called Ada Umi. That means the daughter of Umi. That small hole there, that small opening on the ground, water will enter there first before it enters the main well. Why that is there is so that sand will not enter and fill up this big hole. Are my people not intelligent? Only water can enter. So from time to time, they clean up that Ada Ome, because sand will enter there and they will clean it. We call it Ewo Ome, Ewo Ada Ome. A time comes when they might need to do that of the big one, but this small one, they do constantly because it's small and you can just see it. It's small, it's shallow, it's not deep. And there's a hole. If you see the technology, you will marvel. Today, my people, in the name of civilization, closed up all the Umi, closed up everything. They want to put tile and design. At least if you want to close something, wouldn't you put something else in place of it? No, they close everywhere. No wonder flood, erosion is destroying the entire Southeast. And Professor Soludo is a professor of economics. He doesn't know this story I'm telling you. My people, we are indigenous to the land. We know how to take care of the land because we are born in that land and our placentas, we are buried there. This intelligence to take care of the land is in us naturally, like my sister was saying. So many skills to do the right thing, but we need to take out the cancer from the land so that we can heal and restore the land. Thank you. I rest here.
Thank you, my sister. So we do have all it takes to be the author of our fate, even though that Mr. Osman Danfodio said that he will never allow us to rule ourselves and control our destiny. We can control our destiny. We have all it takes. We can get back to our land and develop it the way it's supposed to be, and no one will stop us. The only thing stopping us is those that still want to be in the Nigeria that refuse for us to move forward. Those that want to go to election that they know is not going to change anything for my people. Those that are working with those people that want to change money at the last minute and then they are telling you new naira and old naira and this and this. My brother will say the other day that somebody will, if you get 10,000 naira of the old note, they will give you 5,000 naira of the new notes. With all the hunger in our land, how wicked can you guys be? Who is coming up with this level of wickedness? You turn around and tell people to turn in all their money so you can give them the new notes. The new notes are nowhere to be found. The same group of people, the same them, not them. They are not going to do anything for you guys, my people.
My dear, I want to remind you of something. You might not even be there when it happened. This same Buhari did what you call essential commodities. They used this money change again, where they took in our people's money and started rationing food to them in a land that is that is plenty, full of food. They will queue on the line. There's a time, Good Luck mentioned it, that he was doing his master's then, that he was queuing for milk. He will not go and, they will give you, they call it essential commodities, milk, sardine, bread, or whatever, because there was no food in the land, no money in the land. This same evil cabals. It is not today. This happened in the 80s. It is not today they started molesting and suppressing the people. And we're saying you can be free completely. You can take away their yoke from your necks. Please, sorry, go ahead.
And nothing has changed. We will continue to do these things that we need to do to liberate ourselves. Even gardening. Our parents used to go to the backyard to get ose, to get tomato, to get onions, to get certain things. We should never allow anyone to take control of that from us. I don't care if those little things are 1 penny in Naira in Nigeria. You should have those things. As I'm telling you right now, I planted my pepper in a bucket. Because here, Scotch pepper is like $4.99 a pound. So we know what to do. We need to begin to take our power back. We are asking our engineers that are all over the world, developing all over the place, to think Africa first. Think about things that you can do to make that change. But guess what? Change will have to start by getting rid of those that say that we cannot move forward. If you are serious about change, if you are saying that you want to come home and impact the lives of our people, then we must get rid of this Fulani enclave, the Fulani Caliphate, that have themselves planted in APC, PDP, Labour Party. They're everywhere. You guys are sitting there thinking, oh, it's my Labour member. We are all in the same group of political party. They are spies, my dear, working for the same Osman Danfodio estate. I know you guys are married. Your children are married to each other. But to you, the ordinary people, you don't matter. You don't count. So we'll continue to do things at individual and community level. We will, push for affordable housing, affordable healthcare, community security, and vigilante groups. Not the criminals that is already killing people and cutting body parts and hiding in the forest and taking people's car and doing all manner of stuff with it. Vigilante groups that will protect our communities. And then we look at athletes, how they can engage our youths in sports. People use that a lot. When you come here in America where there are youths at risk, they are called, you'll see people start some after school program to bring them out and engage them so that they are not busy doing things that they shouldn't be doing. Their brain needs to be engaged at all levels. So we cannot allow them to waste their brain and get duped in church or churches and religious institutions, because all they're telling you is, oh, come there, come and fast, come to meet, we prayer, this and this. We want to promote local science and technology. Teach our people survival skills. All these things are on YouTube. So instead of watching people that are shaking their bomb, you can watch to see what you can do when the enemies come, because we don't know when they are coming. We hear their footsteps. They are coming in a direction. We don't know when they will get to a destination. So you need to plan. We must teach our children life lessons, a moral, truth, folklore. We heard a lot of stories from our parents, proverbs. My mother will always use that, and it works. When we have people in our house, you will know the look that she's giving you to get spoon, to get water, get salt, to get out, to come in, without speaking, while the visitor is there. We need to go back and teach our children what those things mean, so that they won't be like the ones that we have here. They will ask you, what's wrong with your eyes when you are trying to communicate. We must stop competing with each other, because your gift is different from my gift. God has something for every one of us. I've learned this a long time ago, because people will think, oh, if you open a store, if they don't come and buy from you, you won't pay your mortgage. If you're running for office, if they won't support you, that you won't become the mayor, because that's the way they think. They think they have the power. And I learned a long time ago, when one of my husband's home guy got visa, when everybody else, he came there at the last minute when they were about to submit the visa application. This guy showed up when someone coming back, the person coming back to US was going to pick up the envelope. He came, they took their picture. Of all the people that put their own in the envelope for weeks, he's the only one that won. That was over 25 years ago. And I said, oh, that's how God decides who he's going to bless. And he told us that in the Bible. He chooses who to bless and who not to bless. So you don't have any hand in it. If you refuse to be part of the God's plan for that person, he will move you away and continue with somebody else. So if we can get that in our head and know that it's not about you, yes, he may use it to bless someone else, but if you refuse, if God wants to bless that person, he will move you out of the way and use somebody else. So our understanding that should let us know that we are not competitors. We are here to uplift each other. We are here to help each other. We're here to, allow each other to everybody to get to their highest height, because there is a height for every one of us to get. And we cannot conclude this program without pointing out the 5-point proposition summary that Ninas have given us, because a lot of us are still confused. We are saying if we let obedience go, that all will be obedient in our lives. And we're telling you, no, the only outcome for you is brimstone from hell, because he won't be able to do it for you. They will not allow him to do it for you. It almost remind me of the time when we both voted for Obama. We think the life of a black person will change. It was under his watch, Gabriel, a 14-year-old boy, a security officer killed a 14-year-old boy running in his neighborhood. It's even worse. Because if you try to do anything, they will say, oh, so you're here for black people only, you're here, then he will pull back. So it's even better you have the other group, so that you will say, oh, you don't care about black people. It's okay, let me go and do one policy. So I will pretend like I love black people. The same thing with the Fulanese. They've already warned us that as long as we are playing the game of democracy, that they are in charge. No way about it. They have the majority. They decide who lives and who dies. They decide who is in charge. Even when you're in charge, they are going to decide how you're going to be in charge. It was on the channel news. They didn't hide it. So you can't come back after 26 and start crying. Oh, I thought P2B was going to do it for us. No. They told you that as long as you're playing the game of democracy, that they have the upper hand. Oh, mind you, before I forget, mind you, you're living in their grandfather's estate, you, the renter. You cannot be challenging your landlord. We should get that through our thick head. As long as they are in one Nigeria, you are living in their grandfather's estate. And they will decide how your life will be. No wonder a lot of you are spending billions to bring your children here to school. A lot of you that do have the resources that have already bought homes overseas, because you're waiting for your day to run out. When you can't take the heat anymore, you will run and leave my people there. So the first one says an acknowledgement of grave constitutional grievances raised in union dispute. We've already told you guys about the constitutional force majeure. We are looking for an express commitment to decommission the imposed 1999 unitary constitution. When we mention unity constitution, is just for that them and them alone. They decide how it's going to be for you. You have no say. There's nothing in there for you. Whether they bring your brothers and sisters from your own location or your own block and make them ministers and governors or whatever, you still don't count. That's why people like Ekweremadu can own 27 houses and his people are still hungry. That's why he has the audacity to go and take somebody else's child to give him kidneys for his own daughter. It's all about them. They are doing good. Somebody said they are doing good for themselves. They are not there for you. They will never be there for you. We are looking for an express commitment to share further national election under the 1999 Constitution. That's why we say close shop. That you've allowed them to run their shops. Their shops are open. The same young youths, the same young people that are being killed and their futures are being mortgaged are the same one promoting people that they think is going to bring them change. Yeah, they're bringing you change. You're going from stove. How do you say? You're going from pot to the hellfire straight. That's the change you're signing up for. Change is coming, all right?
From frying pan to fire.
From frying pan to fire. But we know that you want change. You want real change. And we're showing you the way out for your real change. But if you don't want to hear, what will be, will be. And the fourth one is an invitation to the constituent peoples of Nigeria to work out modalities for transitioning arrangements, including mandate timeframe, membership, and ancillary matters. Bottom line is that we want to invite our people to be part of this process so that they can have a voice in what we're doing. They can have a voice for their own people. They can say, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. So they can decide if they want to be part of the criminal failed state called Nigeria or they don't want to be. And once that is done, by the way, this is on Nina's website, so that you don't get confused afterwards and say what was said and what wasn't said. If I were you, I should make a copy. I should take a screenshot of this and keep it in my pocket so that I can share with other people that this is what you're asking. So tell me if there's any level of criminality in what we are saying. Look at what we are proposing. Is there anything there that will not serve a common man? Look at our proposition. Is there anything that will not create a voice for every indigenous people and allow us to make a choice that will ring into eternity. But you want to listen to the people that are promising you things that they cannot deliver. And lastly, we are looking for announcement of a time-bound two-stage transitioning process, which shall in the first stage feature multi-regional referendums by which constituent components shall recommit or opt out of Nigerian Union. So we want to give our people a choice to decide if they want to recommit or say, oh, because like this abusive marriage, I don't want to lose my life. And the husband has destroyed my nose, my ears, and everything else. Let me just live with my broken body. We want to give our people that choice. And if Obi, Atiku, Tinubu, and even anybody else that claim to care about you, if they really meant what they said, they should be pushing for this. Because this is what will give our people the chance that they need to live life with dignity and move forward. But it's up to us. If we continue to listen to the people that have amassed a lot of wealth in our detriment, we see them go from being a housekeeper to being the biggest millionaire. We see them with one watch and they owe everything in Anambra and the beer distribution and all the mall in Abuja. We've seen them all. We see them even marry our sisters and daughters and rape everybody they want to rape, but they want to represent us. Are we talking about the ones that they charge with drugs? The Godfather himself? You see, it's the people that are benefiting from this failed state that is pushing for it, and the ignorant people are singing behind them. But ignorance is not an excuse, even in America. When you are ignorant about the law, you are still going to pay the consequences of breaking the law. So we are saying, let's make haste while the sun shines, because in 7 days, it will be over for a whole lot of us. More people will die, more blood will be shed, and your naira will even take a nosedive. You won't be able to buy anything at all. To end the show, we are going with our announcements. Again, we're saying stop the journey to renew your slavery, because every election that you go to is another way to renew your slavery. And once somebody emerges as your president, every criminal enterprise that is out there parading to be westernized will now go do what? Congratulate them. They will give them ammunition to shoot you if you come out to protest. Imagine if you say, Bikon, I don't want this fraud anymore. Our sister Didi is on air. He's on Spotify and Clubhouse, constantly giving you guys a minute of information about what we are saying and what you should know and what you should do. So continue to listen and help us to share that information. And Tuesday is our Twitter day. We don't want you to promote that Ninas is right. We stand with Ninas. Transition now. Let the politicians know that fine, we'll go for an election, but let's address these constitutional issues that we have. To learn more about what we're doing, you can visit us at linasvoice.org. You can go to their YouTube. They have Brother Tony. We have plenty of information for you to watch if you want to know what we're doing. And we are also available for educational sessions. So if you have groups that wants to meet, let us know. We can do a Zoom meeting and come in and educate your church members, and educate your village groups or your old boy association group, whatever it is that you need for us to relay this information. We are available. All you have to do is to reach out. You can reach out on Facebook. You can still use our old number. It's still functioning. We are still paying for it. And last but not least, we must insist on transition now and not selection, because they will give you who they want. And I don't care who emerges, you will suffer the consequences, because they are not there for you. All the money that they invested into this election, all that 10,000 and 20,000 and 5,000 and 40,000 they're giving you, it will cost you 4 years of your life. And then with that end, it will add additional 4 years. That's 8 years. So if you're 20 when this is happening, I'm talking to the youth, by the time they finish dealing with you, you will be 28. Let's stop this madness. It's not that complicated. Thank you. And please, again, help us to share this information. We are here to liberate our people. We have not, the only thing that we stand to gain is to see our people live with dignity and live a meaningful life. We're not here to promote ourselves. We are not here to go to, what is that street? Number 10, what is it called? Downing?
Downing Street, yeah.
We're not here to go to 10
Shopping.
Downing and receive instructions on what we should do and what we shouldn't do, or what the benefit that we'll get. So that after we finish running their errands, we can live by our pool and FaceTime our people and show them we are living our greatest lives. That's not where we're going. We want that young boy with no parents. We want that widow with no husband. We want that single mother, single father. We want that grandmother, a widow that lived by herself, no children. We want them to have a meaningful life. Meaningful life is not just for you and your family to be showing off and coming back during Christmas time to give them chicken change and tell them you're a nice person. If you don't want this change that we're promoting, you are the criminal that we are concerned about. So until next week, my people, you'll have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. We are planning to allow some phone calls after the election, only because we are intense. We want to be serious about what we're doing in terms of educating our people. So we want to send this message home. But once election is done and the brimstone has rained, so we will allow people to come in. So thank you guys so much. We this is too hard. As much as we come here every day, our hearts break for our people. We really wish that we are not in this situation, but we are not running away. This is what it is. We got to do what we got to do because our children are dying. Our children's future are endangered, and we cannot continue to sit around and watch while in. So we must end this madness. So until next week, if you have something to add.
Right. The only thing that I'll say, if you are fighting for freedom or self-determination, that's what your group, contact Nina's secretariat so that you get your role given to you. We're making this call, we've made it before. The more you waste time, by the time this submarine called Nina's will get to your area, you will not fit in because you don't even know where anyone, and you don't even understand what is going on. So contact Nina's secretariat, you'll be given a proper assignment that will make everything to coordinate properly, and we'll get to where we're getting to very fast. Thank you very much.
Thank
Love
you.
you.
Have a great day. Bye bye, everyone.